Hi, I'm Dennis Hartwell, and I would like to tell you a bit about shadow work. Shadow work is a way to bring your true self out of shadow and into the light. What do we mean by shadow? When we talk about shadow, we mean the parts of ourselves that we have denied or hidden away, maybe even from ourselves. Our shadow is the parts of ourselves we have decided not to be like. Let's take a look at some people who do not have shadows. Infants. They express exactly what they're feeling. They smile when they're happy, cry when they're unhappy, and sleep when they're tired. They're completely authentic. They don't hesitate or edit or hold back. They just express who they are and what's going on inside. But as we grow up, our parents and teachers and our culture in general teach us that parts of ourselves are not acceptable. And sometimes the messages come to us in a pretty harsh way. So we learn to hide those unacceptable parts of ourselves. We like Robert Bly's description in his book, A Little Book on the Human Shadow, in which he says it's as if we have a bag where we put the unacceptable parts. We hide those parts of ourselves away so they won't be seen. At first, we put into the bag parts of ourselves that we may think of as bad. Maybe we put our laziness into the bag, or our anger, or maybe we put our greed into the shadow bag, or maybe we hide and deny parts of our sexuality. So we throw some undesirable parts of ourselves into the bag. But some of our most wonderful golden parts get thrown into the bag too. Maybe we put our playfulness into the bag because a parent or teacher didn't like for us to be loud or messy. Or maybe we hide away our creativity because someone said we weren't doing it right. Perhaps our ability to feel unrestrained joy goes in the bag because our life has been hard. Or maybe we hide away our loving connection of intimacy because we've been hurt too many times. As the years go by, we put more and more parts of ourselves into the bag until eventually it's big and heavy, full with all the parts of ourselves that we have hidden away. And we drag the bag around with us, and it slows us down, and it keeps us from being who we really want to be. So by shadow, we mean anything that's in the bag, parts of ourselves that we have denied or repressed or hidden away. If we're trying not to be a certain way, that part of us is in shadow. Now, how can you tell what parts of yourself you may have put into shadow? You may have put a part of yourself in shadow if it annoys you in someone else. I get so angry when they do that. Don't they know that's not okay? If you have decided not to be a certain way, you probably don't like to see it in someone else. On the other hand, you may have put a part of yourself in shadow if you admire it in someone else. Gee, I wish I could be like that person, so creative and courageous, but I could never be like that. That's a clue that you may have put a wonderful golden part of yourself into shadow. Or you may have put a part of yourself in shadow if you act a certain way by accident. I don't know why I did that. Something just came over me. That's not me. Well, in shadow work, we believe it is you, a part of yourself you've hidden away in your shadow bag, but it leaked out. In shadow work, we believe that everything we have put in the bag, everything we have put into shadow, has within it a legitimate, useful, even golden energy that we can use in a positive way if we're willing to take that part out of the shadow bag, dust it off, work with it, and find the gold in it. For instance, if we have put our arrogance into the shadow bag, we may have also hidden away our ability to believe in ourselves, to have healthy self-esteem, self-confidence. In denying our unhealthy arrogance, we may have hidden away our healthy ability to believe in ourselves. Healthy self-esteem may be the golden energy inside our unhealthy arrogance. In the same way, If we have put our anger in the shadow bag, we may also have given up our ability to set boundaries and to protect ourselves and the things we value. We may need healthy anger sometimes. And if we have denied parts of our sexuality, we may have limited our ability to connect deeply, heart to heart. And if we have denied our laziness, we may also have given up our ability simply to relax and enjoy life's moments. In shadow work, we think it's inevitable and even a good thing that early in our lives we put some parts of ourselves into our shadow bag so we can get along in our families and in society. And we also believe that it's a good thing at some point in our lives to want to take some things out of our bag, to reclaim parts of ourselves, to become more authentic, and ultimately to love ourselves for who we are. A gentle word of caution. When you decide to take something out of the bag for the first time, it's important to do it in a safe place. Your everyday life is not the best place to take a shadow for a test drive. For example, you might not want to start expressing your repressed grief while you're at work. Or you might not want to experiment with your anger for the first time in your love relationship. If you did, it might look something like this. Your unexamined shadows can mess up your life. That's why you put them in the bag in the first place. Shadow work provides a place where you can take things out of your shadow bag slowly and consciously and by choice in a protected environment. What is shadow work like? Shadow work is done in a place away from your regular life, where confidentiality is assured, a place that is shame-free, and where there are no real-world consequences. That is, you can explore a shadow, then decide how much of it you want to take to the outside world. Shadow work is done with skillful facilitation, and you can do shadow work in an individual session or in a group. A shadow work process begins when the facilitators ask you, "What would you like to have happen here?" You can explain in your own words what you want for yourself, and if you are not sure what you want, the facilitators can listen carefully and help you determine what it is that you want. In shadow work, you are in charge of your process. The facilitators ask for your choice every step of the way. You determine the direction and depth and pace of what happens. The facilitators lead by following, because we believe that the best facilitator is your own inner facilitator. So if you have been thinking that you might like to reclaim parts of yourself that you may have hidden away, so you can become more authentic and love yourself for who you are, you have already come a long way, and we invite you to shadow work. For more information, go to www.shadowwork.com.